Picture a suburban pavement at dawn. The wind flutters takeaway menus wedged inside the slot of a tired red pillar box, its paint blistered like forgotten lipstick. Once, this cast-iron sentinel swallowed love letters scented with lavender, telegrams of wartime relief, birthday checks from Auntie in Blackpool, twice every day without fail. Posties rattled along in Morris vans and hearts fluttered while waiting for a clatter on the mat. Now it stands ignored, collecting pizza flyers and supermarket coupons, watching thumbs tap glowing screens instead of pens gliding over paper. So when did we stop feeding it? And what slipped away with that final envelope from our British lives? Step through the front door of a 1950s semi and you smell black lead on the hearth and fresh ink on blotting paper. Beside the wireless sits a fountain pen, nib shining, propped upright so the blue-black won't bleed. Mother has folded a page of Basildon Bond, touched her tongue to a 3-penny stamp, and pressed it down with decisive pride. Outside, the first knock of the postie is almost punctual enough to set clocks. By tea time he'll be back again, cap tilted, leather satchel lighter than at dawn. Those envelopes carry more than words. Call-up orders for National Service lads in Aldershot, ration coupons swapped between sisters, coded affection skating past strict parents, aerograms floating 16 days to cousins starting new lives in Sydney. Every reply is an event, rehearsed in the mind during nights by the coal fire, then unlocked with a rip of the paper at breakfast. This daily rhythm stitched Britain and its scattering diaspora into one beating handwritten conversation, waiting eagerly for the postie's next return. And it all began with the sound of his second knock. Close your eyes and hear the double thud of leather boots on the path, followed by a cheery rap at the door. In the golden age of the GPO, that sound came twice daily, like heartbeat and breath. Letters posted in Leeds by tea time reached London breakfast tables the very next morning. A birthday card dashed off in Cornwall on Friday often greeted Manchester relatives on Saturday. And if your sweetheart sailed for Melbourne, a slim blue aerogram, penny cheaper than surface mail, could cross half the world in a fortnight, its edges frayed by sun and salt. Collectors queued for dazzling commemoratives, coronation purples, Europa golds, Christmas robins that made the mantelpiece feel festive weeks in advance. Children begged for first-day covers. Parents saved cancellation marks as souvenirs of seaside holidays. Speed, color, ceremony, every envelope felt like a miniature adventure delivered straight to the hall runner. Most people forget the post arrived faster in 1960 than some parcels do today, when next day can drift into whenever. Yet behind every rapid delivery lurked something deeper. The thrill of knowing words were moving almost as quickly as feelings formed. That anticipation sets the stage for the letters that mattered most, across land and sea. Open a shoebox hidden beneath a spare room bed, and you'll find stories breathing through paper. Here's one. Harold, a coalface hewer in Barnsley, scratching sentences during the dinner snap. Lampsoot smudging the margins as he tells Ina the baby's smile keeps him swinging his pick. Another. Diane, 14 and dizzy with Beatlemania, trading glossy snapshots and secret gossip with a pen pal in Dorset. Every loop of her L rises like a scream from the Cavern Club. And folded flatter than pocket money lies a powder blue aerogram. Private Allen stationed in sweltering Aden, dabbing cologne on the crease so his fiancée can catch a ghost of him when she opens it beside a chilly Leeds window. Lipstick kisses blur on the flap. Coal dust embeds itself in strokes. Petals pressed so thin they glow against the light like stained glass. Handwriting wobbles when the pit hooter sounds, steadies with a love song on the wireless, hesitates before confessing fear of mortar shells. Each mark proves a human stood there, heart racing, pen trembling. Yet as technology tightened its grip, those imperfect signatures began to disappear, ushering in the first faint cracks in our once faithful postal romance. Soon telephones buzzed, telegrams nudged in. Remember the yellow telegram boy pedaling up the lane? clutching urgent news on flimsy paper. That jolt of immediacy was addicting, and it primed Britain for an even quicker thrill. By the mid-60s, subscriber trunk dialing let you spin a rotary dial and reach Edinburgh from Exeter without an operator, though your mother still shouted, "Talk fast, it's costing a fortune." Each year prices eased, cords stretched longer, and suddenly waiting 3 days for a letter felt old-fashioned. Phone kiosks glowed red at dusk as courting couples queued, coins poised to feed the pips. Inside homes, beige push-buttons replaced bakelite blacks, and the first answering machines, clunky reels whirring beside the bread bin, captured crackly hellos while you were at the co-op. Voices now traveled at the speed of breath. Silence between hearts shrank from nights to mere rings. Convenience tasted intoxicating. Yet with every trunk call we surrendered a little of the delicious anticipation that once made morning post so special. The urge for instant contact had taken hold. Next, it would flood through buzzing modems and blinking screens across living rooms nationwide. Modem screams tore through living rooms in the mid-90s, replacing the soft clatter of the morning letterbox. We waited for the handshake of static and beeps, eyes fixed on a pixelated envelope inching across a gray screen. When it finally opened, out poured lines of identikit text. No smudged ink, no leaning capitals betraying excitement, no perfume ghosting the page. The personality once woven into handwriting was flattened into Times New Roman. Shoeboxes under beds, once stuffed with ribbons and pressed petals, started to feel pointless. How do you tie up an email and keep it safe from deletion? Even anticipation, so delicious when post took days, shriveled to seconds as the refresh button delivered answers before the kettle boiled. Yet abundance bred indifference. 1,000 unread messages glare from monitors, but one handwritten envelope can still hush a room. We gained speed, lost texture, and hardly noticed the trade. While our thumbs scroll through digital drifts, a lonely pillar box still waits outside, daring us to rediscover the slow magic of ink and paper, an invitation we weigh against the restless pings of today, before deciding which future we truly want to keep. Ping, ping, ping. Our pockets vibrate like frantic Morse, each WhatsApp bubble demanding instant attention, then vanishing into the scroll. Contrast that with the hush of choosing heavy stationery, uncapping a pen, and letting thoughts unspool at human speed. Writing forces us to listen inward, to shape sentences that cannot be backspaced, to sign our name with the weight of intention. Paper remembers, apps forget. So here's a modest dare. This week, pick one person who matters and post them a letter. Feel the nib catch, the stamp press, the small thrill of releasing it through a cold metal mouth. Somewhere, a faded red pillar box is waiting to believe we still have stories worth sealing for the next generation.